Hello, besties. How are you today? I'm hoping you're having a great week, and we have so much to talk about right now because these last three episodes, Potomac, Family Karma, and Southern Hospitality were so good. Honestly, they get better and better and better each week. I know I keep saying this, but you better be watching because honestly, shocking in so many levels. Um, let's start with Potomac because the ladies of Potomac are bringing so much this season. Now it's time for Karen and Cherise to go head to head for who is the Queen of Potomac. I have a theory, you guys, that I'm going to be sharing with you in a little bit. I want to start with the issue that was happening during this episode. And we're going to be talking about it in depth because I want your opinion. We saw Cherise and Karen go at it because Cherise shared that she went to Karen's mom's funeral. And Karen was not very happy about it because she felt like the only reason why she went to her funeral, to her mom's funeral, was to, have a reason to be on the show, to use it as a way to promote herself and make herself look like a good person. And she did not like the fact that she brought that up on the show. Producers are truly bringing every single receipt possible this season. They even show an unseen scene where Cherise mentioned that she went to, Karen's mom's funeral, and she seems to be using it like, "Hey, I was your friend. What are you talking about?" kind of thing. And Karen was not for that, for any of it. She almost flipped a table. I was like, "Girl, you are pulling a Theresa tonight, and I'm here for it." I honestly believe that Karen is the true Queen of Potomac. Period. To me, there's no other question. There's no other person who has the star quality, the presence, the iconic moments, the perfect reads on the show, the way that she talks on her confessional. There is something about Karen that makes her a star. I do feel like Cherise has a level of jealousy because in some way she feels like that she put the group together and she brought them to the show. So for that reason, like every single lady should be like, thankful for that, or should bow down to her when she's around. But let me put it in perspective. Just because you were on the first season and allegedly you brought these women together, and even though Karen was not like in your circle of friends, like you said, I do believe that Karen rised as the Queen of Potomac. She gained the fans, the heart of the fans. And I want to share this. Thank you, Charlotte, for saying that. Karen stole her shine. She, in fact, did. What happened here is the case of somebody has a more interesting life, has a more TV ready kind of personality. Not everyone who's on TV should be on TV. And not everyone who stars a show should be considered like the star of the show or the queen of the show. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna do a kind of like I'm gonna compare the situation with Beverly Hills real quick. We're gonna talk about it for 5 minutes, so bear with me. Kyle Richards, in her head, thinks that she is the queen of Beverly Hills because she lasted the longest. She's the OG. She put the group together, just like Cherie says. But when you think of Beverly Hills as the queen of Beverly Hills, who comes to mind first? It's not Kyle Richards. There's no way. I mean, even if you're a fan of Kyle Richards, I want you to let me know in the comment section at least one iconic line or one iconic moment from Kyle Richards and tell me if there's anything iconic about her, anything that makes her the queen of Beverly Hills, beside of being the person who started the show and still on the show. Beside that, tell me one thing, and I'm gonna be waiting. The true person that comes to mind, at least to mine and the mind of like millions of people, is Lisa Vanderpump. Period. That's why Kyle wanted her out of the show, because she wanted to keep the title, the Queen of Beverly Hills. But she will never be. She was not that girl. She is not that girl, and she will never be that girl. Even on Ultimate's Girls Trip, for example, remember when each woman of the show had like an iconic moment that opened the Ultimate Girls Trip when everybody went? You know, we have Kenya with Gone with the Wind Fabulous, and then we have we have oh my gosh, it escaped from my mind. But you know, each lady had an iconic moment. Like Teresa had the flipping the table and all the stuff. When it was time to show Kyle Richards' iconic moment or like moment to remember from her, guess what the producers use? Ken saying goodbye, Kyle. And if that's not a case of not being the star because your iconic moment was set by somebody else who's related to the actual star of the show, period. Back to Potomac. Charisse also tried to taint Karen's reputation by saying that she's a cold, hard person because when her dad passed away, she only received a message saying, like, sorry for your loss, like just a one line text. Karen was not there for the lie because she made sure to go on her Instagram and share the full text that she sent to Charisse to shut down her lies. And I think I should read it so we all are in the same page, because I want to make sure that everybody who's listening, this is not me pulling stuff out of my butt. This is me bringing the receipts as well, because I want to let you know that when it comes down to taking a side, it's important to read the receipts. The full message that Karen sent to Charisse says, Charisse, my family and I wanted to extend our condolences on the passing of your father. Know that God is in charge and He is at rest. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. When time permits, I would like to address where flowers are being received. If there is a charity you would like us to donate in memory of your father, please advise. Again, both you and your family are in our thoughts and prayers. Love, Karen. That's not a one-line thing. That's not somebody who seems cold or distant. This is somebody who put aside the drama that was happening between the two of them and wanted to show that she was there for Charisse. Which, by the way, she actually replied saying, thank you, Karen. Your kindness and thoughtful words mean a lot during this time. So you be the judge. Karen was not playing, and Karen said, Charisse, you're not gonna drag me, girl, because I have the receipts. And this is why it's important for the housewife to keep receipts, because somebody's gonna try to change the narrative. Somebody's gonna try to paint them in some kind of way. Record everything, save the text, save the photos. That's what you need to do. Especially nowadays, we have our phones. I'm still confused why we have no Aspen receipt. And that's why I don't side with Rena in this situation. Because obviously, it seems like she could have easily have recorded something, even if it's like a little piece of the situation. So I don't know. That's just my point. Save your receipts. And I'm telling you too, bestie, whenever you have an issue with somebody, whenever you're not sure where things are going, save the receipts. You're gonna thank me if you do that. Trust me. We have a scene the next day after the whole fight of the ladies doing yoga by the beach. And I'm not here for that. I'm not here for sandy parts. There's nothing more uncomfortable than being laying on the beach and having sand going down there, and then you have to do like all these yoga poses in the sun. You're sweaty. You just want to get in. I mean, honestly, if I'm going to the beach, I just want to run into the water, have fun, go by the pool, have some cocktails. I'm not here to work out because I work out every single day of my life. So when I go on vacation, I want to make sure that I have a good time. So actually forcing the ladies to do sandy vagina yoga by the beach is not fun. I'm sorry, it's not my thing. And I agree with Karen and Candiace when they decided to ignore them completely. Even Candiace said that she was gonna put her sunglasses so she avoids any eye contact. So you gotta love Candiace. Honestly, you guys, I have seen Candiace growth during this season. Maybe because the other ladies are acting more like a fool lately, creating those lies and trying to paint Chris as some kind of way, or making up stories, bringing friends to support their lies. That Candiace has taken a more mature way to deal with them, especially on this episode. Yes, we have some reads that are all about the, shaming their body parts and what's not. And like Wendy said on Watch What Happened Live, all of them do it in one form or another. Some of them are more sneaky or classy, but they still making fun of the other person, either calling them dumb or stuff like that. So there is always shade in the ladies' circle. Candice is just more forward, and she knows how to read. But last night in the last episode, she read Ashley for filth. And when I said for filth, was in the classiest, more. She just went with the best word. It almost sounds like a friend telling her that the reason why she keeps trying to go for her marriage is because she's dealing with her own issues at home with Michael Darby. The way that she doesn't trust men, or the way that she doesn't trust somebody else's relationship, is because the way that Darby was treating her. All the cheating and the allegation of being with a guy or another girl, another woman, or both at the same time. All the stuff that Ashley was dealing with, she is, projecting that into everybody else's relationship. And Candiace was right. I've been saying this for a very long time. It doesn't make any sense to me that Ashley just focus on the other ladies' relationship for no reason. You have to have some kind of trigger in your mind. The same thing with Giselle. Giselle's issue with all the ladies is their success. It seems to me that Giselle is jealous of the other ladies' success. Monique, their marriage, their wealth, if they own 4, 5, 6, 7 homes. Now we have Candiace. There she created this narrative that Chris is trying to make a move on her or something inappropriate, and then she's trying to backtrack a little bit. And it seems to me that it's more about the success of these people than the real issue that she's trying to bring to the table. Because recently she said that Candy was trying to act like the victim on this whole situation, and that she should focus on her music. And I'm thinking, girl, Giselle, what do you have going on? I want to know. Because based on the show, you have nothing going on with your life. beside the podcast, which I haven't had the chance to listen to yet. I promised that I would listen to it once, and I just I had too many podcasts to listen to. This one is like the last on my list. Um, it's great to see Candiace on this other light. And beside reading Ashley about their relationship, she also shared her thoughts about Robin trying to force Karen to accept Sharice's apology, or they should move on, and all this stuff. And they all have like a moment where each person has to, like, go through it and apologize. But yet, they are taking me aside, who hasn't apologized to Wendy. And Wendy said herself, Wendy said, you're not going to apologize to me. You assaulted me physically. And then she proceeds to explain what assaulting means. And then Mia tries to say that she doesn't understand what defamation means either, which is truly laughable, because last time that I checked, Dr. Wendy, it's a political commentator and also a public affairs academic. She is not just some person randomly babbling definition of like words. No, she knows legal terminology. She is educated in the field. Plus, she also has a lawyer husband. So she has been working in the legal field for a very long time. She's not. I don't want to, shame anybody, because I'm here for all the sex positive. I'm very sex positive, and I support sex workers. But I mean, if you're gonna put in a balance, I mean, Wendy had the education, and Mia had the street education, which is dancing up and down the pole. And I'm saying this with respect. I'm not trying to offend anybody who work in a club and doing stuff, because I support that. I'm here for make your coins, but putting in doubt Wendy's education and level of success has been a theme this season. And let's be honest, if you put it in a balance, Wendy has achieved a level of success that most of these ladies in the group don't have. She has, she's an academic. That is, you don't just get that. You have to work hard to get to that point of your life. So I was laughing whenever Mia was trying to pretend that she understood more about legal terminology than Wendy, Dr. Wendy. I know my lane. When I know somebody who understands whatever is happening from the professional perspective, I stick to my lane. For example, when I see my doctor and they said, you know what, maybe you should do this, to feel better, I'm not gonna question it. I'm gonna listen to it. It's my decision and option to follow the instructions. But I'm trusting them for knowing what they do, because that's what they went to school for, right? So this Mia versus Wendy is, to me, is getting exhausting, because I agree with Wendy. Mia should have apologized by now. Mia should, face the fact that she was on the wrong for trying to insert herself in Peter's and Wendy's business. That was just a business. That was not a personal thing. They were trying to do a business together, and she decided to insert herself. And by inserting herself and not minding her own business, this assault happened. If she just didn't do anything and ignored the fact that they were having that business, nothing would have happened. And she shouldn't be in this position where she needs to explain herself every single episode and on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, no matter how she tried to twist the narrative, she was on the wrong, because she was the one who assaulted Wendy. Physically. And even Wendy said it. Dr. Wendy said, I have more to lose with my behavior and how I react to things than you. And that's true. That's 100% true. And it shows on the show. Remember too, Mia and her friend Jacqueline also had a fight on the last episode. Um, Remember in the previous episode they were fighting over who was taking care of their kids because the nanny it's Jacqueline's sister, and it didn't make any sense. Now in this episode there is references of like sleeping with married men, and also tarnishing a 30 years friendship over, I don't even know why. I'm trying to understand it. It's complicated or just not clear enough. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why it feels so personal and deep, but we don't have all the details. And even though they had a conversation, it's not as clear because you just don't lose a 30-year-old friendship, 30 years of friendship, because your sister, who's the nanny, was not only taking care of her kids, but also taking care of the other kids. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Trust me. Next episode is going to be another one. We are getting to the point of Robin's wedding. Which, by the way, she decided that she was going to get married the day after her brother-in-law's wedding in Jamaica, which it's the tackiest thing I ever heard. Because even if you're not trying to steal the thunder, you're just piggybacking of somebody else's wedding. And that is so tacky. No matter how you want to put it. You can get married anywhere else. If it's just the two of them that are eloping, like she's trying to portray it, she could just go to the courthouse down the street when she's not stealing the thunder of nobody's wedding. People don't do that. Don't get engaged at people's weddings. Don't get married the next day of people's big events, because this is not just like, oh, the brother-in-law is going to the courthouse and just have a little dinner in a restaurant. No, they're having a whole trip. It's a destination wedding. So to me, that seems like cheap. They're piggybacking on somebody else's big moment. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Go down the courthouse. I don't even know if they're actually married or not. They are. This is doesn't make it. I still don't get this, guys. Please, if you have a theory of this non-wedding wedding, please leave it on the comment sections on my YouTube channel, or go to Twitter or Instagram. My DMs are open for all these theories and mess, because I really want to know. Because as you see right here, Elizabeth made a point. If Robin and Juan got married, should have been in July 2022. Are they married though? I want to know. I really want to know. So if you have any tea on this, my DMs are open. Please do be respectful, or ask for permission. But yeah, it's this non-wedding is getting to the point of the black eye in Salt Lake City. I don't want to know about it. I don't care if they talk about it again. I just want to know if by now they're married. That's all I need to know. But if they're not married by now, I don't want to know anything about it. Trust me, I am tired of storylines with no resolution. We already have one on Salt Lake City, and we had to go through 3 part reunion 3. And I'm still wondering what are we going to get on 3 episodes? Because this season was really short. So for them to have 3 episodes for a reunion, to me sounds like a little excessive. I'm just guessing that one of those episodes is going to be Jen Shah and Cohen having a sit down and talking about whatever, which just letting you know, besties, I'm not watching. I'm not. I refuse to watch it. I might watch the clips that other people post, but I'm not giving it the ratings. Don't care for it. Jen Shah has lied enough. I'm done with that. But moving on to an actual wedding that is being planned and that is going to happen because we know that it actually happened is Family Karma. Family Karma, once again, is taking the torch of one of the best non-housewife shows. I love Family Karma. Their dynamic, the stories, how they interact with each other, the fact that they are friends, like real friends. To me, it makes the show more interesting. On this episode, we start with Amrit and Nicholas planning their wedding. As we know in the past, Nicholas has, um, shared with all of us that his family is not very supportive of, uh, him being gay, him getting married to another man, and they don't want to be filmed. The family was very clear that they don't want to be filmed during the wedding is happening. So basically, they just want to be a guest in the background. We will not even see them on the show. But we do know that it happens because we saw the trailer, and unlike Robin, this wedding is costing 6 figures, you guys. 6 figures. And I kind of like, I can't say much about it because my wedding was also kind of like a little too expensive for what we planned it to be. But as a gay man myself, I appreciate the fact that they are sharing all this planning, the process of getting the place, how they visualize their wedding, um, even details like what a tea party is for the gay community. I don't know if you guys watched that part, but Emrit shared that he would like to have kind of like a cabana style, like with dance floor, whatever that is typical at the gay tea dances. And he explained that in most tea dances, gay men end up without the shirt, which is true. I've been to tea dances before. I'm not into them anymore because I feel like I'm an old soul now. I'm in bed by 9 p.m. and I'm going to Charleston to party with the cast of Stolen Hospitality next month, so I'm saving my energy for that. But it's true, the cultural differences, it's a great topic on Family Karma because we are seeing two different upbringings, especially religiously talking. The Indian culture, weddings are a process, they have steps. Um, it is very uh, I don't know. It has a lot going on. I can't explain it because I'm not Indian myself, and I haven't been to an Indian wedding before. But A, they're gorgeous, and B, they seem like a lot of fun. So I hope one day I get to go to one. But also we have Nicholas who grew up in a very religious family, which he still seems to be connected to that side of his family, like those morals, that upbringing, and that he would like to have a piece of that in that wedding. And his parents, though, not giving him the opportunity to experience that seems to me really, really sad. You know. Also, on that episode, we see them arguing over they are trying to have kids, and they were talking about um, what last name the kids are gonna carry, and I, I, mm, I don't want to take sides because I understand each of them side. Like, you know, Amrit said that his family has been supportive of him and Nicholas and the wedding, and for that reason, they should carry, the Kapai, the last name, his last name. I'm trying to say, but I don't wanna offend anybody by mispronouncing his name. Um, but and then Nicholas on the other side, he also wants to have the same of his kid's last name. What do you guys think it will be the right thing to do here? My opinion is just put both last names. I mean, if you use like a little um, dash and just have both last name together and make sure that the last name carry on. It shouldn't be just one last name because this is not like a woman and a guy, and the guy's last name always, move the family, carry the family name. So they should be an hyphenate the last. Yeah, they should hyphenate the last names. Uh, I think that would be the right thing to do because it's both of them kids, it's both of them families, it's both of them cultures, both of them upbringings and family traditions that are getting together to create this life. So I don't think it's fair for either one of them last names to not be included. That's just my opinion. I agree with you, Elizabeth. They should hyphenate the last names, period. Another moment that I'm very happy to be watching is Anisha's fashion show. I love fashion. I'm a big fan of fashion shows. I've been to many. I used to work for a designer before, so seeing people trying to get into the fashion industry and doing it on their own to me is very inspiring. Anisha has invested time, her life, her money into creating this moment, and I'm so happy that we finally got to see the fruit of her hard work. And for the first time, I watched a fashion show with actual fashion. This is not She by Shire. This is not Brooks Marks tracksuits. This is beautifully constructed and designed garments. She was being a little shady when she said to Monica, "We were not talking, so I'm not sure it's gonna fit you. When I designed this for you, I'm not sure if this is going to fit you." So that was really funny. You can tell that they still have a little of a shade going on, a little issue going on. But the designs, the inspiration, her own culture, and bringing it to like the Miami vibe. She took the beauty of like Indian construction of garments and the detailing on the fabrics. She knows what she's doing. She's bringing her own culture to the mainstreams. And on top of that, we also get to see moments where she shared this success with her friends. I mean, let's not forget that the cast as a whole, they've been friends since they were kids. So seeing them being part of the show to me was amazing. She also brought her whole entire culture into it, from models to music to colors to all the beating on the fabrics. I'm a big fan when somebody embraces their culture and kind of translate it into now. They take the beauty of their own culture and they bring it and they share with the world. I appreciate that a lot because sometimes We see people appropriating other people's culture because they have the financial ability and capability to do that. We've seen it many times. People go to Mexico. I don't want to point fingers, but you see wealthy people go to Mexico and they come back here with a new tequila, or they come back here with a new guacamole, or with like a new tortilla line, and they change the name of the product so it sounds more Americanized. It has happened many times. You know, fabrics and costume pieces. People who have the chance to do it, and they don't give the proper um, you know credit to the people who actually created these pieces through history, and they just appropriate that for money reasons. on and that's why I like what Anisha's doing. Anisha's grabbing her own culture and saying, "This is who I am. This is where I come from. This is what I love about my culture. I'm sharing it with you. If you want a piece of it, you can wear it." Amazing. Bali, Bali. I love Bali. Bali was like, "I'm not wearing this. I'm not walking this." I gave her the wrong sizes. She was being a little shady, but I love Bali because Bali and Anisha have a friendship that I appreciate. They can go at each other, but they're doing it from the heart. So, I shout out to my girls, Anisha and Bali, for keeping it fun, keeping it real, keeping it entertaining. Their confessionals are absolutely amazing. They look so beautiful together. Um, I remember the part where the producer asked Bali why she gave Anisha the like fake measurement. She said like, "I'm not gonna give her the real ones. Like, why would I do that? You know?" And then Anisha said like, "Yeah, you gave me the measurement of a boy," and then she replied saying that it will look really good on Brian. Shady stuff like that is why I love this show. And like I said before, this show works better than a lot of other shows on Bravo because their friendship is real. Their friendship is um, their friends in childhood. They're not forcing the drama. They know each other so well that they know how to get under each other's skin in a fun way, but they still are able to move forward and to resolve the issue, knowing that people are gonna get the drama, but they're also gonna get some fun. And I'm here for it. Honestly, Family Karma tops a lot of the shows going on Bravo right now. Another show that I love, it's Stolen Hospitality. But before I go to Stolen Hospitality, because um I forgot to mention that night when after Family Karma, there was a little Watch What Happened Live moment that I want to highlight because it's been the talk on the internet. Right after Family Karma, Dr. Wendy and Reza were on Watch What Happened Live. A lot of people were asking why Reza was on it, and it's because the Traders, it's on Peacock. The whole season is out. I haven't been able to watch it, but I will watch it and probably just make just one special episode when I bring all the tea about the whole entire season. But Reza was asked by Andy who he thinks is the most overrated housewife, and his reply, even though he didn't want to reply, on his defense, I'm gonna say this because a lot of people has gone after him. And yes, Reza has done a lot of problematic stuff on his show. Reza has definitely said and done really questionable stuff on Shah of Sunset, even though it was canceled. But it was not canceled because of what he did. It was because the other person, uh, Michael, I forgot his name. It just escaped from my mind right now. But his domestic violence issue. That's why they canceled the show. not because of Reza. So let's make that clear. But a lot of people online have said that he's trying to get some exposure or trend or anything online. So let's be honest here. Andy asked Reza a question. He didn't even want to respond to it because he was gonna get in trouble. And Andy said out loud, "That's the best part. I mean, that's what we're here for." Kind of like pushing him to say who he thought it was the most overrated, to which what he replied say Kyle Richards. And the reason is because he also want LVP back. I'm here for this answer. I'm here for Ding Dong being out and LVP should come back. So I support Reza's answer. I think I said it before. Kyle doesn't have an iconic moment. I'm sorry to say it. She has been on the show for 12 seasons, and I can think of one iconic line, iconic tagline, iconic moment, iconic party. Nothing. 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 The only iconic thing about Kyle Richards has been bringing Kathy Hilton to the show. Period. So then the next day, Kyle replied to Reza saying, "Oh, wasn't your show canceled? Weren't you the first one to be eliminated from whatever show you are on right now?" And then he replied saying, "At least my cast members and my siblings like me. And yes, my show were canceled, but how's your relationship with Kathy and Kyle and Kathy and Kim Kyle Richards?" He even tagged them, all of them, on his reply. And I'm like, ooh, he did not come to play. And Kyle doesn't know how to read. For you to be able to read, you have to be somebody who's not afraid to be disliked by people. And we all know that Kyle loves to be loved by everybody. Like, she wanna make sure that she's liked, and that's why producer has gatekeep her image, has gatekeep her issues, because we had never spoken about Mauricio's alleged affairs, Mauricio's alleged issues in his business, and those are public. You can literally Google them. And they had never made it to the show. And that is a production situation where Kyle has been protected by the producers since season 1. So, I honestly am Team Reza on this one because he knows how to read. He is not afraid to drag people. He's not afraid to just say how he feels. And we all know, if you have watched Show of Sunset, he can drag a bitch across the street with his reads. Honestly, he knows how to do it. And Kyle has no idea. Kyle can do that. So the fact that she inserted herself expecting her to win this battle, like, know your lane. You should have just stayed quiet. We wouldn't be talking about this. It would have been forgotten by now. But she inserted herself, and now she looks like a fool once again. Honestly, people, before you post or make comments about somebody, make sure that you can read or you can defend yourself to the point of not looking like a fool. Also, look for the facts. I understand that some people say Kyle's still on Beverly Hills and Reza's show was canceled. I'm like, yes, but Reza was answering a question that he was asked, and he was forced to answer. Kyle inserted herself because she decided to. She didn't have to. She could have been the bigger person and move on. And she said on her comment that she was not mad. She couldn't even be mad about it because Reza's show was canceled. I'm like, girl, if you weren't mad, if you were not mad, you would not have grab your phone and type this message. Somebody who's not mad about something ignores the fact and moves along because they know that they're winning. But she knows she's not winning on this one. Anyways, we have Southern hospitality. And it's true. I want to share this one because this one is 100% true. Before we move to Southern hospitality, Ali just shared with us Reza was not wrong. Queens don't need to clap back smiley emoji. It's true. I said it before. If you are winning, you don't say anything. You don't need to clap back. If you are carrying your crown in your head, you don't need to say anything. You keep your head high and you keep moving along because the crown is heavy and you carry it in your head and you know you're winning. So you move along, you keep walking. You leave you pay them dust. Pay them dust. But Kyle decided to do that and she looked like a fool. Yes. Now to Southern hospitality, like I mentioned before, I'll be traveling down to Charleston and I'll be partying with the cast and I'm gonna bring you all the tea from this trip. I'm going on February 3rd to February 6th, so keep an eye on my Instagram and Twitter. You will see a lot of Charleston content going on. But on the meantime, we had the episode before the finale airing last night. Yeah, we are just one episode away from the finale. And if you haven't caught up, go to Peacock, watch it. Yes, you might feel like at the beginning that you're not getting the show, it might be a little slow, but watch the first 3 episodes and you're gonna be in love with this cast. You are gonna sit down and watch it all through because it's only 7 episodes so far. And it just gets better and better. At this point, I'm like, why is it so short? But it's typical. Usually, first seasons of non-housewife shows have between 8 to 10 episodes. We all know that Winter House, Summer House, VPR only had a few episodes the first season. So I'm hoping that Bravo is smart enough to renew this show because I want more. I want more Southern hospitality. And yes, we just got Reagan, literally. And she brought so much drama in the previous episode that I need more. I need more. And you guys, if you haven't watched it or listened to it, I had the opportunity to interview Lucia from Southern Hospitality on my guest episode last week. So it's on my YouTube channel and it's also on podcast version. So you have the opportunity to listen or watch Lucia sharing her upbringing and where she's coming from and why she stayed in Charleston because she's from New York. She's a New Yorker. So yes, go watch it or listen to it. You're gonna definitely enjoy it and you're gonna fall in love more and more with her because she is an amazing person. I absolutely love Lucia. So what I think about this episode, to me the most important part of this episode was TJ and Mikel working together to celebrate Pride at Republic. And why I think that's the most important part. We all know that Mikel and TJ had issues the first few episodes, right? And Mikel came out during the season. Like he embraced himself and his best self and his true self this season. TJ, on the other hand, he came into this show as an open gay man. I was rooting for them to work together from the beginning because as as part of the LGBTQIA community, we need to learn how to support each other and how to be there for each other. Because even though our stories and our journeys are different, we go through the same struggle of finding our position, our reasoning to be in this society. So seeing them working together to come with a plan to celebrate Pride to me was chef kiss, 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 chef kiss. Um, TJ also was sharing about his relationship and how hard it is to date in Charleston. And there was a scene where he said that he was dating a man who just came out of a 8-year relationship with a woman. I say run, TJ. Run, run, run. Fast, fast. And the reasoning is that if you haven't embraced who you are, if you were in a relationship with a woman for 8 years, uh, I don't know if the guy is bisexual or maybe he was in the closet and he was trying to figure out himself, but I will not jump in a relationship with somebody who literally just came out of a really long relationship with a girl because we are looking for two different things. We are looking for two different things in life. If you have been out and you are ready for a relationship that's stable, you need to find somebody who is 100% sure of who they are. You know, I heard him saying that, and I was like, please don't settle because it seems to me like this person might not be ready to fully be out and be happy with who he is. But that was just my observation. During this Pride event, we saw Joe Bradley in drag, and that was so funny because the boys, I mean, those two men are just gorgeous. Those two men are just gorgeous. And seeing them in drag, I'm like, I you need better makeup, you guys. Please. um Joe Bradley was wearing like this like pink dress and a pink wig, and it reminded me of Bianca Del Rio with half of her face done. Like she didn't try to put her clown makeup on, as she said. If you know Bianca, she called herself a clown. Um, but for some reason, I saw Bradley. I was like, why you're giving me Bianca Del Rio vibes in your little outfit? It's really funny. Then we also have Bradley on what it seems like a leopard print outfit. I don't know if it was leopard print or if it was kind of like Spice Girls inspired. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it was really funny to see the guy supporting the cause. And like Mikel said that he was kind of like part shade, part happy that they actually wanted to support. The reason why he asked them to be in drag. But moments like those is what make this show so enjoyable because they're young. They are working in a restaurant. They work every single day behind, the bar in this environment. So to see moments like that when they take um, something that is important for one of their castmates, for one of their friends, and actually get involved in support, because we know that the whole Pride event was Mikel's and TJ's idea, and having their straight friends like their allies to be there for them, it's important. And it shows that even in Charleston, because we are talking about Charleston, South Carolina, this is the South. It might be a city. Charleston is like maybe the most forward part of South Carolina, but it's still the South. This is not LA. This is not Vanderpump, Pump, or Soar, or anything like that, where, it's in WeHo, like the gay capital of LA. This is Charleston. So for Leva to have this event, for TJ and Mikel have the opportunity to share this with the community, for Bradley and Joe Bradley being able to support their friend, and even being in drag, being so happy to be there, and supportive of the cause and the community, to me is very important. To me, um, gives me more reasons to love this show. And you think, oh, they pander in the community. No, they don't have to. They truly don't have to. They have TJ and Mikel in the cast. They're representing. So Leva didn't have to do any of this, but it shows that there is a true love and support for their community, for the people who work for her. And I'm here for it. I'm so excited to finally be able to meet them all in person. Hopefully I get to also, speak to Leva in person as well when I go down to South Carolina. Um, but if you're not watching this show, you should definitely tune in. It's a great show. It's only one episode left. Another part of the episode that I wanted to highlight, it's Lucia's relationship. At the end, we had some like little scene of her talking to Devon, her then boyfriend that she has a kid with. We see him packing his stuff and moving out of the house, which is really sad. And you can tell that Lucia is going through it while filming this episode. And I know breakups, especially when there's kids involved, must be really hard. I mean, breakups in general are hard, and not knowing what the future holds, or the parenting, especially parenting, it's a whole different ball game when the parents are not together versus when they are together. So I can see that Lucia is going through it, especially at the end when she's sharing that in her confessional. But um but imagine going through all the stuff on TV with an audience. And this is the first time. And that's another thing, you guys. You gotta think about this cast as a brand new cast. This is just like their first time of experiencing reality TV. So when I was watching Lucia sharing um, that information of Devon living and moving out of the house, I was like, wow. I mean, must be really hard for her to deal with all this, with the cameras, knowing that all this is going to be out to the public to talk about, like we're doing right now. We're talking about it. It's honestly heartbreaking. I just know that she is definitely a very positive and a light. If you follow her on Instagram, which I recommend you to do, it's so inspiring. She is an inspiration. And once again, if you want to get to know Lucia Pena more, you can listen to our interview. It's all about her. She shares so much, and I would love for you to have the opportunity to get to know her better. And I really want Bravo to renew this show because we need more Lucia in our lives. By the way, like I mentioned before, this is the episode before the finale. I'm so sad that we are not gonna get more Southern Hospitality for a while. I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about every Monday now. We do have Summer House coming soon. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about all the drama that we saw in that trailer. Um, that's gonna be really spicy, you guys. Woo! Definitely keep an eye on my podcast because I'm bringing you more Bravo Labs, more guests. I have many guests coming in the upcoming weeks. I don't want to jinx it just yet, so I will let you know as the days get closer. So if you have any question, you know where to find me. If you have any tea, you know where to find me. It's you can find me at Martini with Eddie on Instagram, Twitter, and also martiniwitheddie.com. That's my website. On YouTube and podcast. Remember, I always release 3 podcasts a week, 2 recap episodes, and 1 with a guest. So please subscribe, rate. That's very important, you guys. If you really like my podcast, my takes, and all the tea that I bring you, please leave a rate on my podcast. It's very important for my podcast to survive. It's your love and support, which I always feel and always receive with my arms wide open. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great night. And like I said, please subscribe to my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a rate. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Martini with Eddie and all social medias. You guys have a great night. And like I always say, are you ready? Are you ready? It's coming. Bye, besties.